All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 4 of F1 My Life, starring Cam and Priya. And this is Spain 2021 commentary. So right now we got quali going on our F1 TV here because we weren't able to get it on TV. So we're just gonna watch this quali, and this is the first time we're watching quali, right?
While doing the podcast. We watch quali all the time, though.
Yeah, while doing the podcast. So this is the first.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I don't know.
I think you wanted to do it, right?
I did. I understand why you didn't.
Yeah.
But hey, let's see how it goes.
I don't think we ever did it during quali, did we?
We've never done it
or
during
am I
quali.
mistaken?
No, we've never done it during quali. We've talked about it, though.
Yeah, so it's the first time doing it during quali. I was saying we shouldn't do it during quali just because I feel like we'll be watching it more than we'll be talking about the last race. And I don't know how many people actually want to see us just watch quali, you know?
I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter because the first two sessions of quali so it's 30 minutes long, and it really only matters who gets knocked out, to be honest with you. It really only matters that much.
Yeah.
And that gives us enough time.
Not really. It matters who actually
If you're not in the top
gets
5, nobody
pole.
gives a crap.
Yeah, but
Just
who
kidding.
is on pole? That's why are they doing all this?
No, but
if
I'm
it doesn't matter who's on pole.
No, I'm saying the first two sessions
Oh
of
yeah,
quali
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really
Unless it's someone random.
red flagged or
No. Unless it's somebody
unless Ricardo is
unless
out.
Bottas is out in Q1 or something, then
One
yeah,
can
that
only
makes
hope.
sense. Wow. That's rude.
Yeah, well, I already know who's going to be out in Q1, and it's going to be Mazepin. I got a lot of questions from a lot of my friends in Formula One, and that's 3 people in Formula One, asking me why I was so ticked off about what happened with Mazepin. Do you remember what happened last match or last race?
Mazepin, let me try to remember what happened with Mazepin. He slowed down in front of somebody or something.
So
like that?
he didn't realize. No, I don't think it's that he didn't realize, and I should have read up on this more.
Was it the blue flag thing?
Yeah, but it was that he didn't get out of the way, and Perez was in front, and Perez was lapping him. So, how the etiquette is supposed to go and what racing rules are is that he's supposed to, concede. He's supposed to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And I just think that's so tacky. I know it doesn't change the course of Perez. Perez wasn't going to get P1, but, he was already, 53 laps on mediums, which is another crazy thing that he did.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, Mazepin just, again, shows, how much of a jerk he is, that he doesn't get the heck out of the way.
Do you think he's a jerk, or do you think he just doesn't know how to, deal with Formula One?
Well, he got out of the way very nicely when Lewis was
Yeah, but was
coming.
that after, though?
It was.
Because if he got crap before, now he's just going to, start acting right, you know?
I just feel like Mazepin, but como the racing rules for F2 and F1 can't be that different. If
Was
you're
he
getting
in F2?
lapped, yes, he came from F2.
Oh, I don't know if he just came straight from his
Go-karting?
his rich Russian dad.
No, he didn't come
F1.
from his. No, he's he's like Schumacher. I think there was that whole thing about how Mazepin's a really aggressive driver, and a lot of people in F2 didn't even like him.
Yeah.
When it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's a duck, and he's a jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have been complaining about him. We don't know what happens behind the scenes, though.
All I know is that's fine, but that's all. Whatever I see on TV, though.
He did that during the race?
What?
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cam has slept about 3 hours in the last 72 hours.
Yep.
So this is going to be an interesting podcast. I don't know if he actually remembers the race right now.
Yeah, it's been a little while. The cognitive
capabilities
is just kind of dwindling a little bit,
So
but
Priya and
and
Cam
then
show?
I'm gonna do it all over again because I got to get up tomorrow and watch this race in the morning, which I think is actually really early.
I think so.
Right, so whatever.
I think it's in 17 hours.
But
from
it's
now.
all good. That's different, man. When I wake up for a race versus knowing
You
I have
got
to
meanie in your eyes.
shoot a wedding. It's because I'm wearing contacts. That's why. But
sleepy boy.
yeah, I guess getting into last race. So we had Bottas on pole, starting on pole, which is
that lasted 7 laps.
Yeah, which is not, it's not uncommon but it's not the most common thing in the world. It's usually Lewis and Max, like Hamilton, Verstappen, and first. But Bottas qualified on pole, but as we know, pole doesn't equal you're going to win the race, especially when your boy Lewis Hamilton is P2 in quali. And that's kind of exactly how things went.
Your boy.
Yeah. And we were kind of watching this on the highlight of the race, but there was like Lewis made that really good move on the outside in the turn.
To pass Bottas?
He had the DRS on Bottas and he used that to his advantage. Bottas is just like, I think in his head, he's like, I'm going to take the racing line. But it's like, I think that's what separates him and Lewis. Lewis is like, you can take the racing line, but who's going to, like, he has the DRS advantage. He's going into the turn faster. So he's like, I'll just go on the outside. And he seems like he took the position pretty easily. So
you mentioned that to me and I was like, first of all, I can't believe you're paying Lewis Hamilton a compliment, because
why is this the thing that like everyone, even Prakash, has been like being like, Cam hates Lewis Hamilton.
Like, shouts
to Prakash. But like, even, oh man, like I don't hate Lewis, man.
He's gonna watch this and be like,
I just critique the guy. Imagine if
Toronto, Chicago doesn't like me.
Imagine if Lewis, that'd be hilarious if Lewis Hamilton. It's like, hey mate, I heard you talking crap about me on your podcast.
What's that about?
I'm a knight.
I'm Sir Hamilton. Thank you
Sir
very
Lewis.
much. My British accent needs some work.
I'll sick my dog. I'll sick Roscoe on you.
I'll sick?
Yeah.
I'll sick my dog.
What do British people say? I don't know, man.
I don't know. They always ask you alright? And it's like for a long time. For a long time, I was like, yes, I'm fine, thank you. Like some of our family will message us and message me like, you alright, Priya? I'm like, yeah,
That's
I'm
what
good.
they say,
I know,
man.
now I get it. And I'm like,
They're British.
Yeah.
They're English, but they don't speak it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They like mess
you
with
don't
us.
speak English either, but that's fine.
But no, what were we saying?
So Lewis does obviously have the capability of just taking, even if he's not on pole, he will take it within like 10 laps of a race.
Yeah.
But what I like about him, and I think that is something that, we don't mention enough, is that, of course he's skilled. Of course he has like a great acuity and understanding like how racing lines work and how to make DRS really work for him. And that's why he was able to take Bottas from the outside. I think people forget like how crazy that is to do. Bottas just didn't really wow me. He doesn't, I'll be honest, even when he gets second, he doesn't wow me.
Yeah.
But what I do love, and what we were mentioning earlier, is that Verstappen is just like versatile. He can come from third. He can come from second. He can come from first, go down, and then, go back up. He's really versatile. He knows how to like work it in dirty air. He knows how to.
This is one thing we were saying, we were mentioning, we're like, okay, when Lewis races, he qualifies on pole, and so long as he gets out and through the first like 2 or 3 turns unscathed, he just has to kind of rely on the car.
I'm just like wondering where he went. Sorry.
Rely on the car, and that'll like get him to the end of the race. So long as everything else goes well and the pit stop strategy is correct and everything, Lewis should, come out on top, and he generally does. But with Verstappen, you see him, he generally starts, if he gets pole, he gets pole, but he'll generally start in like P2 or P3. And you see him utilize the slip streams, dude.
Strip-sleeve?
Utilize the slip streams.
Are you okay?
What
Red leather, yellow leather.
I'm not doing any of that. But you see Verstappen utilize the slip streams. I have to like stare out so I can say the words. The DRS, racing lines, everything to kind of win races. Like he can't really lean on the car as much. Yeah. He can't just be like, okay, I got power and it's gonna go. Right. He has to like race a little bit. Yeah. Whereas with Lewis, because he does have the car there, it allows him to be on pole when he needs to be on pole, and he can just do that. So I'm not saying either one of them has more skill than the other, but I think that's why I like watching Verstappen race, is because I can see him like he's generally not in pole, and when he does get there, like
Yeah.
when he finishes the race in first, it's really exciting because you know he had to really work for it, right?
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of things that people have also been mentioning or commenting on is like when I went to work, a lot of people were like, "Well, how was the race?" And I'm like, first off, like watch it.
yeah,
Second off, it was
humble brag.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Wake up in the morning and watch it. No, I'm kidding. I get it. But I think the biggest thing was like, because like that race wasn't like exciting, and I'm so happy that somebody said that, because honestly, I really enjoyed the last race, and the reason was because we got to racing again. Like we got to racing. We were on dry conditions. We had like no big like crashes, no big incidents that were able to like detour the race.
Yeah.
I really liked last race, and I know that a lot of people who may have come from like Drive to Survive are like, yeah, it was all right. I really liked it.
It was okay.
I really liked it.
I mean, I like to see.
But I like to see more racing though.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty vanilla. That's the thing. It's like you like to see more passing, more
Yes.
overtaking, maybe. You know, it's always fun to see some kind of drama in a race, but I guess from a like a motorsport purist sense, yeah, you know.
I think it was like a pretty like A to Z race.
Yeah, I guess.
The only person that was out last race was Kimi Räikkönen, because I think he just forgot to look where he was going.
I was seeing something like about, I think his commentary after that. So Kimi Räikkönen hit Antonio Giovinazzi. He had DRS on him and just ran into him, which is random. And I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if he fell asleep at the wheel
No.
or whatever, but like figuratively speaking,
Yeah.
but like he like just hit him and he
Yeah.
was out, and it was just, his commentary was like, oh, that was my fault.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know,
he
and
took.
that was it.
It was pretty funny because his son apparently gave him a lot of smack about it, because apparently Kimmy always tells his son to like make sure he's looking forward
Oh, God.
in go-karts, and
Yeah,
because he
wasn't.
like didn't, it was pretty funny. He's like, that's what my son, I always tell my son, and now he's telling me the same thing. I think one of my favorite parts was that Latifi was passed by Schumacher. I don't feel like that was enough, I guess, like airing of that. I mean, that was like one step ahead that we're seeing. I mean, I know he's in a Haas, and I know Haas isn't the best car whatsoever.
But I mean, we're looking at, so we're just finishing up on Q1 here. We got Bottas, Verstappen, Gasly, Perez. Sainz, Hamilton in 6th. What the hell? Ricardo and Ocon in 8th. Leclerc is in 9th. Tsunoda is in 12th. Norris 13th. Vettel 14th. Giovinazzi 15th. But what the thing I was going to mention, to your point, is Raikkonen, Stroll, Schumacher, Latifi, and Mazepin are they're probably going to get eliminated here unless somebody gets a little froggy. So I mean, yeah,
That's a little
I
froggy?
guess, yeah.
Like leapfrog?
Like just, you know, you feeling froggy. Didn't I explain froggy to you?
No.
You feeling froggy, bro? You feeling
Sounds
froggy?
kind of like questionable.
I heard it somewhere. Froggy is like, you know, when someone wants to like jump around and like kind of getting fisticuffs, you know?
I mean, I hope Stroll gets froggy, because he's in like, that's not where Stroll belongs.
No, but what I'm saying is like when you have the bottom 5, if they pass each other, is that really like a huge... These guys are like, you know what I mean? I feel like on any given day, given whatever happens, either one of them could pass anybody at any time, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, yes, but you're thinking about not new people. Like the majority of the bottom 5 is old, right?
Yeah.
Or the majority of the bottom 7 is old, but you know, Russell is up in 11th right now. You've got Latifi, who's a young driver. I don't know if he's ever really going to make it, but like Mazepin and Schumacher are new. So when they start racing each other, they're in a league of their own, right? They're back in F2.
Yeah.
So it just shows me that Schumacher, even in a terrible car, if he were to be racing Latifi, he would do decently. You know what I mean? He had the capability.
Yeah,
you have
true.
to think about it. You have to think about those things.
I think they're starting to... I mean, you know, this race will be interesting to see where
Spain.
Mick gets, because he's had 3 Grand Prix so far
Yep.
to kind of work with the car.
Yep.
And if there's progress, like, I think we'll start seeing it pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of time in that seat. So, we'll see what he does. So far, he's looking like he's going to be eliminated. One other thing I was going to mention is Russell. He qualified 11th in Q1 here.
Yeah.
He's been, I think, if I remember correctly, their initial goal, I think, was to just get out of Q1.
Yep.
Now he's, and then if they ever made it into Q2, that was like, obviously getting out of Q1, making into Q2 was huge.
Yeah.
He's floating around a pretty...
He's just missing it.
He's just missing it, which is really interesting to see. Like, I don't know if with the change-ups at Williams...
He got froggy.
If they'd... I don't know with the change-ups with Williams if, it's kind of fixed things a little bit for them.
Yeah.
But he seems to be a little quicker. And to what you were saying, Stroll
just jumped to 7th.
Up into 7th. So...
and Vettel. So, you know what? We've got Vettel and Stroll making...
What do you think about that?
I mean,
Norris just went 1:17.
Where we're standing right now
in Q1, fastest time right now
is
insane. Is
my child Norris?
Hold on, is Hamilton? No, Hamilton's not on a hot lap.
No, he's not.
Wow!
So right now, as we stand, we've got
Norris, what is happening here?
Bottas, Leclerc, Verstappen, Gasly, Perez, Sainz, Stroll, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Ocon.
All right. Okay.
Norris is murdering it.
Norris is...
But it does not matter until you reach Q3. Like, you just have to get through.
You're right. But come on, can we talk about... Okay, first of all, let's not even get into, we'll analyze this first. What do you think about Stroll and Vettel right now?
I'm happy that they made it into Q2.
No, I mean just based on the racing.
The last race?
Yeah, just in general.
Poor.
Vettel's struggling.
Just poor
Vettel's
racing.
a lot. I don't know what's
struggling too though.
Vettel's struggling more.
He came
You're talking about a
Ferrari.
former race winner over here.
It's unfortunate to see it because it kind of just shows you so Ferrari struggled and Ferrari with Vettel was struggling.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that Ferrari's getting back into the swing of things, but now you've got him in a car that's still developing. But Como, what you have to remember is that a lot of these cars develop in the first 5 races. Okay?
Yeah.
Last year was a huge shift overall. It was.
Do you think this is development though?
I do.
Or do you think it's just it has to be, right? Vettel's always been pretty quick, and now he's in the Aston Martin and he's slow.
I'm wondering if in Aston Martin he is still just struggling to get himself back. I wonder if he has had a little bit of a confidence shake. If you think about it, he is becoming more of a personality in F1 than the driver to talk about.
He's always been a personality.
But you're seeing his personality be talked about more than his
actual driving.
It's like Kimi.
Maybe.
And a part of me wonders if that era is over for him. I don't want to believe that because I saw him at the top of the field. So
yeah.
I wonder, we'll know more probably by this race and next race where exactly Aston Martin stands. Because if they don't get it together within the next 2 races, Aston Martin is going to be just struggling to even get points at this point. So, I think the last race really just showed us it was pretty vanilla, like you said, in terms of it was a 1-3 finish, and then it was Verstappen, great. We were able to see all of that happen. Not a lot of the other teams were showing their colors.
Yeah.
But I do always want to talk about Sergio Perez because I just think Checo is I think he's always worth mentioning.
Well, before we jump into that, Lewis Hamilton is 9th in Q1.
One can only hope.
What is happening there? All jokes aside, that's really unusual.
It is.
And again, we're watching this live for the first time, so it's to see Hamilton in P9.
It's a little jarring.
On Q1 is a little interesting. weird. I don't know. Maybe they're testing something on the car or they're trying something. We're going to have to see.
It's
but
possible.
It's only Q1. He got out of Q1. That's all that matters. Or maybe something happened while he was driving.
Yeah.
And he's just like, crap.
Because there was a racing incident or there was something being questioned and investigated that could have, like, on his hot lap, it could have just set him back. So it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anything can happen during quali.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we're not even really listening to this comment. I can't, like, the reason why we can't have it too loud is because if it's reproduced, it can technically get pulled off YouTube, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so even I think on our podcast, if it's too much, it can get pulled off.
Got it.
But I don't know if they've said anything about why he actually had a slower lap there, but that is unusual. It must be something, I'm assuming, mechanical.
I'm assuming mechanical or something happened on his hot lap. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest, because that's just not like him. And
Yeah.
more times than not, in perfect conditions where I know that Mercedes has qualified well in the past, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be in the top 3.
Yeah.
At least at the end. I would be surprised.
Yeah. Something else must be going on. But
So like I said, back to Checo.
yeah, Checo Perez, man. Sergio's been such an interesting driver to watch this season for so many reasons. Obviously, coming to Red Bull, you know.
Already killing it. I personally feel more than Albon because he's at least staying in top 4.
Yeah, he just needs to. I think he just needs to figure out the race now. Like his quality's looking not bad. I think he just needs to figure out being a race driver. And
Well,
like,
he needs to remember
he needs to race
rules.
the car.
He also needs to remember rules and not randomly pass people behind a safety car. But I mean, I think that again, it's just like how people are like, well, Checo can come from behind and he can make, P1. Again, he shows it. He went 53 laps on mediums.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I think Perez has had a reputation, though, for managing tires extremely well.
Yeah.
I think he has that reputation, if I'm not mistaken, in Formula One.
Which is why it bothered me so much what Mazepin did, because it just took away from even just a lap more of distance, because it was Perez and then Lewis.
Yeah.
And then who was it during the race that it was like, am I past? Oh yeah, remember Lewis thought that
Lewis
he was
like
racing him.
Yeah, no, he's like where are the blue flags? And they're like, negative, you are racing him. And he was like, oh, okay, wow,
I thought that was hysterical. But yeah,
don't they do blue flags for somebody who's been lapped?
Right. Lewis thought he was in first already.
Yeah, but even if you're in first, like, what are the odds that he's lapping Perez?
I mean, what
That's why that confused me.
But what does Lewis care? Does he really know if? Yeah, you're right. No, why would you be?
I was
lapping
like, bro,
a Red
why
Bull?
would you be lapping a Red Bull car unless he had a spin out or horrific pit stop or something like that, which didn't happen.
That was pretty interesting, though. I'm really enjoying watching Perez because I just feel like he is where he needs to be right now. He's in top 4, at least like race finishing. So far in the points, it's like not very much. I think it's like a point difference between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
If that, I think it's very little.
It's a point. I think it's 1 point.
Yeah, which is so interesting.
Which is like the best start that Verstappen has had.
But we're only 3 races in.
But this is the best Verstappen DNF'd, I think, 2 of the 3 races in 2020.
True.
So this is amazing.
I mean, we're still early. Anybody can DNF.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, and looking at this, interestingly enough, man, I mean, you called this at the start of the season with Norris. Mm-hmm. Norris is very much like a dark horse.
Yep.
This season, he's just low key. I don't want to say low key, but he's showing consistency on an incredibly high level in that McLaren.
Yep.
You are seeing him in quali and in the race put up really solid numbers.
Yep.
Really solid numbers. He came out of Q1 in first, but another one I really like, who's even lower key than Norris, is Leclerc.
Leclerc is
I feel like he's racing in such a way that it could something could happen and you could just see him in a podium position in a race. And that's really interesting because like Ferrari's having their struggles, but I don't know if
I
it's
think they're doing
really
much better.
yeah, they obviously are, right? They're not the bottom of the
Yeah.
field or midfield anymore.
That was terrible.
They're in the top again a little bit.
Did you see the joke that it's like in Portugal at least you saw like Ferrari on the podium, and it was
Yikes.
like it was the Ferrari thing, and it was like Italian, and it was like sponsored by Ferrari, so it was like Lewis and then
Oh
Max and then like
God.
Bottas, and then it was like Ferrari or like whatever it was.
Ferrari.
Ferrari is like the
Pirelli.
Pirelli.
Pirelli, dude.
What did you say earlier that you couldn't say? Splitting.
Why are you trying to bring up things I couldn't say? And there's, because you can't say so. That's not
Sorry.
nice.
I can speak today.
Hey, you know that
Pirelli.
Formula One team?
Ferrari.
Ferrari?
Priari.
Huh?
Priari.
Jeez.
I should have my own car. I do, a Prius. That's how I pronounce my name. I
You
literally
should
go
drive
to
a
patients and I'm
Prius.
like, hi, my name is Priya. And they're like, what? I'm like, it's like the car, but without the S.
God.
It's terrible. I should teach everyone how to say my name like that.
A Prius is like the most soft car
I
you
know.
can buy.
I know.
That's
I
like
know.
a Prius is softer than a marshmallow wrapped in cashmere.
Ooh, that sounds so nice and warm.
Soft,
I know. It's like softer than the soft tires.
you know?
That was a bad joke.
Jeez, yeah, dude. Nice joke. That was cool, man.
That's what we call a dad joke. So we got Hamilton out on his lap right now. Now, I don't know if it's, it's his flying lap.
This is Q2 right now.
Yeah.
What else do we need to talk about? I think the last race was pretty
Pretty standard.
standard, eh? In
Yeah.
terms of what's going on. I don't
Yeah,
even
eh?
know in terms of yay. Yay.
Canadians. Moose.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was pretty like, it was like what you said, pretty vanilla. And I think, I guess my biggest thing is like, who do I want to see develop? I
Yeah.
want to see Gasly do something. I've like forgotten about him. I want to see I want to see Sainz and
Even
Ricciardo.
Tsunoda, man.
Yuki?
The AlphaTauris. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I've kind of forgotten about Tsunoda a little bit, but there was a lot of hype on him to begin with.
Yeah.
And now the past few races, he's kind of faded a little bit. I don't know what's going on there. I think maybe, like, here's the thing, is like, I don't know if it's just too early
Yeah.
to kind of say anything.
Yeah.
Like, what driver really, other than, an established driver on a team where he's been for a while, just comes out of the gate flying? Like,
Yeah.
not that many guys, right?
Only your boy Perez.
Yeah, I mean, the usual suspects, right? So, I don't know, maybe Yuki will start putting it together as
I mean,
well at some
he's
point.
not DNFing. He's not putting it in the walls. I mean,
Yeah.
I think all of those things for like a new F1 driver are things that like should be celebrated.
But the AlphaTauri is a pretty. I mean, it's not the most solid car, but it's not a Haas.
Yeah, it's not Haas. Speaking of Haas,
It ain't Tokyo Drift
Yeah.
over here. That was not a racist joke. That came out, and I did not mean it that way. I was just like, just referring to the Haas's slipping and
yes, I
sliding.
understood what you meant. I didn't think it was racist.
It's not racist, man. Whatever.
No, I think it's just
Yuki's
coincidental that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
but
Haas is like literally, it's like they're drifting on the tracks.
speaking of Haas,
Yeah. What was that?
I was like,
That's what you're doing. You're so excited about F1. You just want
I
to talk
know.
about all of it.
I can't like get out my words.
I'm trying to
as
like
quickly as
steer
I
the
can.
conversation. Like you're just like, quali. That's why I didn't want to do this during quali, because I know it's like, squirrel. What's that?
I actually saw a squirrel outside. I was gonna say that, but that's
Oh,
okay.
jeez.
Haas, Grosjean, Mercedes, Toto.
How do we not talk about that, man?
I know.
No, I remember I was at the gym and I just showed you. I showed you the still of Grosjean in a Mercedes
And my eyes were like,
uniform.
"Ooh, he looks nice." In
And
Mercedes.
then I just left you with that.
But a part of me was like, "Oh my dear God, what is happening?"
No, I mean, yeah. At first, I was just, somebody's gonna need to explain this to me. Is this just Toto Wolff being like a nice guy, quote unquote? Like, in front of in terms of public perception and this and that, because I have my own theories as to what's going on.
I know what your theory was. I actually think your theory is correct.
Yeah, I like it's like, oh, like, because okay, is there any reason as to why Grosjean is test driving for Mercedes? Is there an actual reason in terms of the F1 team and the business as a whole? It seems like from what they're saying, no. The reason they are giving to the public is it seems like Toto Wolff is just like, Grosjean talked to me and he said that one day he would love to drive like a Mercedes car and da-da-da. So he's like, I'm just like kind of giving him a send-off that he deserves or whatever, being like really nice and letting him hop in the Mercedes and blah, blah, blah.
It was the company line, though. The company line was that he didn't get to do an actual final race because his final race was horrific.
Yeah.
And that they wanted to send him off in a championship winning car. And like,
cool.
I agree with your
Cool,
statement
bro.
that this is more of like.
So what I was saying is I think, because if anybody out there really knows like anything about Toto Wolff, they will know that Toto Wolff is an incredibly smart guy.
And a
businessman.
And a
handsome bastard.
There you go.
So Toto Wolff is an incredibly smart man, incredibly smart businessman at that, actually. That's why he's actually the team principal of Mercedes, and he's also a part owner of the Petronas F1 team. What I think is happening is I think he's kind of, I'm not discounting that he's not a nice guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. But I think a big part of him having Grosjean jump into the Mercedes is that visual of another driver putting on a Mercedes suit and jumping into a car. People are going to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And Toto Wolff is all about, like, he knows what he's doing. He wants people to be talking about Mercedes, paying attention to the team. Like, obviously that's going to, and what is it? It's no skin off him. Just fuel up the car, send him out there, right?
Unless you put it in the wall. Yeah. And that's where I remembered it.
I don't think they gave him I think they gave him an older one, though.
I still wouldn't want to put it in the wall.
Yeah, but it's like, it wasn't like Lewis's car. He's not going to let him just hop in Lewis's car. No, it was Bottas's. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like an interesting thing.
No, I think it was. I think it was pretty cool. I think like the sympathetic compassionate person in me was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
But then when you brought that up to me, I was like, you Toto, you smart man.
People, I mean,
goodness of your own heart, but also with
I think he was doing it out of the goodness of his heart. But I think if it serves multiple purposes, there's no harm in that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Toto's not stupid. I think he knows the potential, talking points. It gets like, we're talking about it. Oh, we're talking about Mercedes. Like, a mission accomplished for him, right? And obviously, amongst F1 people, it was passed around online. They're like, oh, look at this. Grosjean's in the Mercedes. What's happening? Kind of thing, right? So, yeah, that was an interesting thing that happened.
All right, so we're standing at Q2 right now with Verstappen. We got 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. We got Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton, Norris. And Sainz, Leclerc. Alonso's gotten his act together. Stroll, and then Gasly.
And then Ricciardo at risk to be eliminated.
Jaboy is at risk.
It's an interesting
come on, Ricciardo.
How this is all kind of lined up.
Yeah.
Because, Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton, North.
That sounds about right.
It almost feels like that should be completely flipped over to be Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen. It's Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc.
Well, I mean,
Alonso, Stroll. What are they doing up there? Where's Perez? Sergio Perez is in 12th. He needs to
get it together.
Step it up here. It's kind of weird,
I mean, but then you've got Russell, who's sitting here on his flying lap. If Russell makes it into Q1, I mean, I don't know.
That'd be the fastest he's probably ever done.
Yeah,
but
it would be amazing.
Happen,
no, he stayed 14th, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Anything can happen, right? Like, Saturday is just the lineup, and Sunday is going to be all where the points are. And, yes, do I love the idea of seeing Perez qualify in 12th? No. But do I think that he could still get into top 5 that way? Yes, because he's shown that before.
Yeah.
But people like, Vettel, not surprised he's down there. Giovinazzi, not surprised he's down there. Ocon, I really wish he was further down the line because I just don't like him. But I'm hoping, I'm honestly hoping just to see,
See what?
I messed up Ricardo and Sainz. I almost said something else.
Why?
I'll tell you later. I would love to see like Ricardo and Sainz just like come into their own in their new teams because I just feel like Sainz is making more of an impression. Daniel is lost. He is just going from team to team and just really not making an impression until he's there for 2 seasons like he did with former Renault now.
I
Alpine.
don't know what Daniel is really doing. I think he needs to find a team that's like home for him.
I really wish it had been Red Bull, but...
Yeah, I liked him in Red Bull. I really liked him in Red Bull. I don't know. I guess it's just like with Verstappen, they're never going to let that happen.
Unless Verstappen goes to Mercedes and then they get Daniel back.
Yeah.
But he's older now.
Who?
Daniel?
Daniel, yeah.
I'm starting to think, is the World Championship even, within reach for him?
Well, he needs to be in a Red Bull or a Mercedes to get a world championship or a much improved Ferrari.
Do you want to know who I think is going to be in the race for once Lewis leaves? Obviously Verstappen.
Lando Norris.
Lando and Leclerc, I feel are truly going to be in those pivotal positions. Leclerc murks it. He keeps his head down and he has driven Ferrari well.
Yeah.
Even through their hiccup.
Yeah, even when they were struggling, he was able to put that car in a pretty good position. Which says a lot, but I mean, I wonder if because the thing is Ferrari has improved quite a bit. Mm-hmm. In the last season or so. I think with Leclerc, he might stick with them for a few more seasons just to see if they can fully develop the car to where it needs to be. I think he'll do that. I'm pretty confident he will. Why? I mean, where else are you going to go, to be honest? Any other team is going to be a step down, really.
And as we say that, Leclerc just qualified in he was in 5th.
Yeah, he just got out qualified by Sainz and Norris. He's got pushed down. Sainz jumps it into 4th. Just when you were saying you're I want Sainz to come into his own, he jumps into 4th there, which is a hell of a...
Quali is just quali. And that's why that whole sprint race thing still just kind of ticks me off. Because I just feel quali is for the first 3 it does help, but everything after P3 or P4, I'm nah.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up.
I don't know how we're going to see... I don't know how that's going to go down. We're going to have to see which race it is that we see sprint quali on and how it goes. But I don't know. Can't knock it until you try it, right?
We're finishing up Q2 right now, and it looks like Ricardo's on a flying lap. He got purple in the first sector.
And he got out of
just
Q2.
Made it into Q3.
So also to note here is Perez jumped out to 5th. So we got Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton, Sainz, Perez, Norris, Leclerc, Ricardo, Ocon, and Alonso.
Hamilton just bumped up Bottas, so he's in right now running provisional P2.
Yeah, I mean it's not provisional because it's only Q2.
It's only Q2, my bad.
Verstappen, Bottas.
They just switched it up. It went from Verstappen, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton.
It's so hilarious to see this back and forth between them, given what was said on Drive to Survive.
What do you mean?
The last season, Bottas was really yo, I want to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to win.
Yep. Lance just got out qualified. Unfortunately, he's in P11 and Stroll is 2. This is where Aston Martin is. Aston Martin is just not able to get into Q3.
Yeah, that's really disappointing considering they had an incredibly fast car last season. I really don't know what the deal is with that.
Russell was nowhere near qualifying correctly. He's in 15th.
I guess For him, that's like, I guess, like a really good spot. I keep yawning. I know.
You need to go nappies after this.
It's because I'm wearing contacts. And it's like
The middle
making
of
me
the day.
tired.
I know.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Or is it just that I haven't slept?
So
maybe.
Cam always makes fun of me because he says that I don't do well with like out sleep. But I'll be honest, I think Cam, after like 3 days of not sleeping, he doesn't do well.
Just finish the podcast without me.
Okay.
Just tell me when it's over.
So right now, I should bring out like card tricks and stuff.
Huh?
I should bring out like card tricks and stuff.
Do you
that
know,
guy's bun
do you know
is
close up?
so real.
Shouts to your man bun, bro.
That guy's man bun was so real with like
that was like on the top of his
that
head.
that was better than mine.
Yeah, dude.
I'm sure he's Italian.
Well, they're in Spain, so he's Spanish, you know?
No, they're part of the team.
Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. Oh my god, I want pizza now.
It sounds like that sounds like some kind of olive oil brand.
Alfa Romeo.
Olive brand.
Olive brand.
I'm even like I can't. How about imagine if I went to the wedding today and I was just Italian.
Oh my
hello.
God. Hello, Alfa Romeo.
I would like a samosa.
Samosa.
Is this like, I don't know what's offensive anymore to people.
I don't think a samosa is offensive.
No, like talking like with an Italian accent. Is that offensive?
I love it. I love Italian people's accents. I love those little old ladies who are like, come here and let me feed you some pasta. You're too skinny.
That's like kind of stereotypical,
They're
bro.
so cute.
Not all old Italian ladies want to just feed you pasta, bro.
No, but the Italian women
That's like
that
an
I've
Indian
met
person
have.
being like, oh, hello, let me feed you some curry. Like, we don't do that, man.
All the Italian women in my life that I've ever met.
We'll
have
fix your
wanted to feed me
computers,
pasta.
but we won't, you know.
I can't fix my own computer at this point.
Did I just feel like a stereotype by building a computer? That's very like stereotypical of me, isn't it? Like brown person.
You are IT support.
Brown person tech support.
You are Mudhar support.
No, I'm really not.
You're tech support. You are. You're my tech support. Whenever anything goes wrong with my computers, I always ask you, which is why I don't have a computer.
Who else are you gonna ask?
I don't know. Everyone at my work asks me, and I think that's stereotypical because I'm the Indian girl at work.
No, I'm sure it's because they think you're smart and you know what you're doing.
But really, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to computers.
People in general ask, like, I think it's because like you are smart and also you're young. Because people always ask younger people how to use their technology.
But yeah, like I'm the person. We got like leased a new car this week, and I was driving to work, and I had to hang up on my friend because I tried to connect to Bluetooth, and I was having such issues with it. And I went to work, and there were all these like young people there, and I was like, I can't make my Bluetooth work. I'm 29. Like, I'm not an old person by any means, but like I had to like pull over on the side of the road, put the car in park, and like figure out what I needed to do before I got through it again.
I want to drive that car, man. We should go for a drive one day.
You can.
You know?
You can drive it.
It's a nice car. Did you park it outside?
No, I parked it downstairs.
Really?
Oh, I parked it outside.
Yeah, you did. I was like, who else has like the same car outside?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you parked outside.
Oh, yeah, it's because I'm going to go to the gym later and pick
Oh,
up stuff
okay.
for the pizza.
The pizza.
I'm going to pick up stuff for the pizza.
The pizza.
The pizza.
A mozzarella.
That's what I need to pick up.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Whenever you say Parmigiano Reggiano, I always think of Rajais, like blankets. And then it reminds
Not the same language, dude.
Then it reminds me that
Hey, man, not
one
the
of my
same.
friends did ask me if I was going to get a new blanket for all the podcasts, but I didn't. That would mean I would have like 6,500,000 blankets.
Which friend is this, and why are they asking you to get more blankets?
I think that they would prefer that they remain anonymous because they don't want to get slack about it.
Whatever, man.
It is what it is. So what are your current, so obviously right now with like the top 10 being the way that they are, what are your projections for pole?
You know you can't project it, but it's definitely going to be Verstappen, Hamilton. You know what? Let's swing for the fences here. I'm going to say Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris.
Verstappen, just for quali.
Yeah.
Verstappen,
Hamilton, Norris.
Hamilton,
Top three.
Norris.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say, although I feel like I would have heard about this already. Hamilton,
Yeah.
Verstappen.
Well, that takes the fun
Norris.
out of it. Assume like, you know, no
That
one
Verstappen
would've-
just like, or like
No,
Hamilton just like
no,
goes
you're
off
saying,
on the side
you're
of the road.
saying you would have heard it already because somebody would have messaged you. Just assume there's no message or lack of message or whatever. Somebody you know.
No, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it can't. I feel like it's Hamilton, Verstappen. Ugh, I want to say Norris, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Bottas. Where's Bottas going to go? 7th?
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, Norris has been fast.
Okay, I'm going to go down to 4. Okay, actually, I'm going to do my top 5.
Okay, go.
Really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to do Hamilton,
Yeah.
Verstappen,
Yeah.
Bottas,
Yeah.
Norris, Leclerc.
Leclerc?
Leclerc.
Please don't say his name like that ever again. Please don't. Makes me uncomfortable. You said Leclerc, but Sainz is going pretty quick too.
Come on, it doesn't matter. Sainz still isn't comfortable in the car. That guy looks like a mini Norris, or like an older Norris, excuse me. He's not, like, you have to go based on consistency.
Norris looks like a mini Norris.
Yeah.
So young.
Little baby. little baby. That's who I think. What do you think? Who are your projections?
I told you, Verstappen.
No, up to 5.
Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. Yeah.
Where are you going to put Bottas?
Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris, Bottas, Leclerc.
See, even you forgot about him. He's easy to forget about. So we are entering Q3.
Okay, no, sorry, Sainz.
You can't change it.
I said no, because I was trying to remember who was, or it could be Perez. Okay, just for laughs, like let's do. I'm gonna say.
Any day now.
I don't know Norris, man. Norris was not quick last time. I think you're right. Okay, just for fun, I'm gonna say Verstappen, Norris, Hamilton, Bottas, Sainz.
You're putting Bottas in 4th?
Yeah, it's like I doubt that's gonna happen, but imagine if I'm right.
Yeah.
You know?
That'd be amazing. Okay.
Realistically, yeah, I think it's gonna be like Hamilton, Verstappen, 1 and 2 switching at some point. Bottas, and then maybe Perez, Sainz, and then Norris, right?
Yeah, those guys are going to be the ones that are up there.
So, but I mean, if that were to be like the grid, how interesting.
I would love to see Norris leading
on pole.
Like a Grand Prix.
Has he ever gotten pole?
No. He was close. I think he did once.
No, he's podiumed a few times.
No, but I think he got pole. I'm actually going to Google it really fast.
Did he?
I'm going to Google it. I'm hoping that it doesn't show up with the results because that's going to be really bad.
Well, don't Google it then. It's going to be like, yes, it happened like just today.
Position.
And
no,
now and now we got 10 minutes left.
No, it's not. No, it's not going to do that.
Once you read it, it's over. You know, so.
It's not on there.
I don't think he's ever qualified on pole.
Let's read. Podiums to.
So.
Okay, so this is what just came up, and it has nothing to do with like the outcome of this race. Oh my God, he's so young. His highest. He was born in 1999. Como, he's 8 years younger than me. He's 21.
Jeez.
I know, he's a little baby.
Just age yourself on the podcast.
I'm a young girl.
Just
I'm a young
yourself,
woman.
though, dude.
So the highest race finish he's ever had is 3rd. The highest grid position has been 3rd.
Okay.
Podiums to 183 points. But look at the first story of today.
What?
Being blocked by Mazepin in Q1. Definitely. Do you want to change your answer about what we do and do not know about Mazepin?
What do you mean?
This boy doesn't know how to drive a car. Mazepin apparently like blocked. Here, let me just read the story. Lando Norris says being blocked by Nikita Mazepin in Q1 definitely cost him a chance to fight for the upper placings on the grid.
True. What are you going to do, though, man? I mean, if that happens, that happens. What can you do?
I don't know. Kick him out. He's a little jerk face. Look,
but
he's
all
wearing
the
purple.
you know the thing is that the only thing the FIA does is if you block somebody, the person who did the thing wrong gets a penalty, but the person who suffered from it doesn't. They
Get
can't.
anything.
Yeah, they can't add something to you. It's unfortunately like just how it goes.
I know, but I just think that if you have someone who's persistently taking like top runners and messing up their races, like I feel like that needs to be in question.
You know what? You're actually right. I think there should be something in place where it's like, if you've done enough things wrong to impede drivers,
you give them
while
your points
racing,
or something. I don't know.
No, I think your license is suspended for a set amount of races. I think that's honestly, and I think that should be the case. I don't know why there isn't a rule like that. It's like if you slip out and hit somebody, or if you like,
well, if it's not your fault, then like if it's like conditions.
But if you're screwing up other people's races, I think there needs to be a penalty for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just very much like, you know how it's like with your actual license? If you get so many tickets, your license gets suspended.
Yeah, true.
It should be the same way in F1.
And
right?
I just think that it's because it's so narrow. Like if you miss out on a race, then you
somebody
miss out.
is out. Oh my God, who is
it's a Red
this?
Bull. I think it's Perez.
Perez.
He's not out though. He went wide and.
So Perez just spinning out in Q3 here. You know, everyone's putting up time. So we're just watching Q3 here. Everyone's putting up their flying laps. Norris, I was hype, but Norris was the first one to kind of get across the line. That's why he had the fastest time. Yeah. Hamilton naturally jumping up into first there.
Verstappen's purple in the first, green, and then purple. But he's still in. He's still second.
Perez is gonna have to do a second flying lap to kind of get that. Obviously, right.
The difference between Hamilton and Verstappen, Hamilton, who's in first right now, is 3600ths or thousandths. I can't ever figure out. I get so nervous doing decimals. I can't do it. It's tens?
So
a tenth of a second, and then it's 100th, and then it's 1,000. So it's 1,000, 3,000ths of a second. If someone wants to teach me how to do this or Google it for me,
no,
I
think
need
it's
help.
I think it's what is it? Is it 100th? One 100th?
Well, it's 1.0.
Whoa! Yeah, he just hit the. I mean, I guess he went a little too wide there. Hit the gravel, and I'm assuming he's obviously coming in to swap out those tires.
Yeah,
because they are all flat spotted. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
And he went into the gravel with that too.
Yeah, it was a lot of smoke.
That was a lot of smoke, unfortunately. I wonder who else is. I wonder they must have like yellow flagged for like a second down there, and I wonder who it messed up.
I think you know how it's point and then 3. I think that's hundredths. What?
Thousandths. He said it's 3,000ths of a second. I was right.
Really?
Yeah.
The number on the end, right?
Yeah. The difference.
Yeah.
Cam and I need to go back to math school.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hundredths.
Because it's 1 minute and 16 seconds. And then it's a tenth, hundredth, thousandths of a second. So it's actually tenth. It's 300ths of a second.
Tenth, hundredths, and thousandths.
Yeah. Oh, you poor thing.
What?
You're so tired and you're trying to do
know,
math.
I'm just like...
You're like, I'm following along.
Brain.
Make it work. Make it work. So we are in the 4 minutes, 45 seconds, which basically everyone has to put up a lap or two. Otherwise,
look
we're
at
done.
him scrambling with tires here, trying to get him on Perez. But, I mean, we'll see. Like, Norris is not up there like we thought.
Yeah.
Hamilton is up there. Verstappen is up there.
What the heck is Ocon doing up there?
Why are you hating on Ocon?
I just don't like him.
It's Esteban Ocon.
I don't like him. I'm not a big fan of him.
I know you don't like him.
I don't like his personality.
He's kind of
squirrely.
Attitude.
He's kind of squirrely.
They made him out to be like really, I think in Drive to Survive Season 1, he was like, who was he? Was it Kevin Magnussen where they were like pissed at each other?
No, it was Sergio Perez.
No. He was like swearing at him.
Oh, no, that was Max Verstappen.
No, I think it was Kevin Magnussen when he was just like, and Magnussen was like, yeah, like go F yourself or something like that. Like he said something really rude to him. And this was while he was giving like a statement.
No, it was Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon after Brazil.
No. Oh, I remember that. They got into a shoving match.
That was him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh.
So Verstappen and Ocon, he like pushed him.
Yeah.
But there was this one clip where Esteban comes over, or somebody came over to Kevin Magnussen, and he's like, "Oh, a real nice guy here doing an interview," and Magnussen was like, "Go F yourself." Like he turned to him and he's like, "Go screw yourself, bro."
Was it Magnussen or was it Perez? Maybe you're right.
I think it was Magnussen on somebody else. I can't remember, but yeah, that was intense. You don't really see, you know, but I mean, Verstappen was when he got pissed at Ocon for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I don't think violence should ever be used, but
No.
super justified.
Yeah.
Like, he robbed him of a podium.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was something stupid,
was
I
really
remember.
bad.
He was trying to, he was, passing him. He wasn't even, he was a lapped car.
Yeah.
And he tried to pass Verstappen
Yeah.
and knocked him out of the podium.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is
you should feel badly
stupid.
about that when that happens to
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? It also,
Yeah.
it reminded me, I don't know why, of, when Hamilton just, gypped Albon of, everything in his life twice. I wonder if
Yeah.
that, took a huge toll on his
There's
confidence.
a huge difference there, though, because one of those drivers, they were racing each other versus being a lapped car.
Yeah.
Knocking the person out of first.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible, I'll be honest.
You know,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
So we are coming up on 2 minutes. This is my favorite part of quali, is when everyone lines up and you can kind of feel the tension and they're going around in a circle and the big kind of flash comes, 2 minutes to go.
Well, everyone has pretty much one more flying lap in them right now.
That's it.
So
'Cause
it's
you gotta
do or
cross the
die,
line.
man. If you want to get on that pole position.
I love when they space themselves out and they
Yeah, you need room.
You need room.
So you can open up the cars.
And then I love when they talk about giving each other a toe.
They try
Give them
not
a toe.
to.
I know,
you
but it's pretty amazing when they do
I find
on
it
accident.
interesting how they kind of line up behind certain cars, though.
Yeah.
Certain ones, they want to be behind certain cars. Just, I don't know. I think a part of it is when they're racing, when they're qualifying, they want to be close to the people that they're kind of racing against.
Yeah.
So that they can gauge how quick they're going.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it gives them a little bit of
A boost. Slippery stream.
Not slipstream, but just like you got that feeling of you're actually racing.
Strip sleeves.
Stop. The more you say it wrong, the more I'm gonna, and you know you're doing it on purpose. So weird.
So that's okay. I can't speak a lot of times, so I'm actually really happy when you can't do it because it makes me feel more human.
So rude.
I think Lewis looks way too confident. I think he's like, I'm going to get pole. I heard that if he gets pole today, it's going to be his 100th pole.
100th pole position by Lewis Hamilton.
And he's 96 wins or something like that. So
96
I just feel like it's so much. Everybody has stats about him, and I'm just like, how? I mean, I know that internets and technology exists, but it's I feel like we're always counting something down and with him, how many race kilometers, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's hitting a whole bunch of different
Who cares?
records.
I'm just kidding.
Do you hate Lewis?
No,
hey,
I
dude, do you hate
don't.
Lewis or something?
I
Because it
don't.
sounds like you do.
I don't hate Lewis Hamilton. I really respect him. I really respect him. I just get excited when people give him a little bit of a race for his money kind of thing.
A run for his money? A race for his money? Yeah.
Strip sleeve?
Slipstream.
You still can't get it.
So whatever, stop doing that to me, man.
We're almost there.
You know?
Oh!
Hamilton had a little bit of a slip
wiggle.
there on the curb.
He had a little
Wiggle,
wiggly.
wiggle, wiggle. You know that song?
Yeah. Wiggle, wiggle.
Jeez. If he still gets on pole after slipping out there,
Bottas messed up.
that'd be insane.
Well, Bottas
man.
just messed up.
You know. So, I mean, as it stands, I think Verstappen is done too. I think it's gonna stay as is. You know.
It's 100 poles for Lewis
Leclerc, 4th.
What the heck is
You know?
Ocon doing up there? Norris is down in 9th.
All right, so these guys are done. Hamilton gets his pole position. So we have
Big
Hamilton,
surprise.
Verstappen, Bottas, Leclerc in the top 4. That's going to be an interesting 1 to 4 grid.
Yeah.
Leclerc with the slipstream off the top. Leclerc and Bottas with the slipstreams behind the two guys, Hamilton and Verstappen there in front.
L is for... No, G is for get in there, Lewis.
Get in there. He doesn't say... does he say get in? Does he say get in there on pole?
No,
he doesn't. No, it's just on the race
whenever
wins.
he races, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Get in there, Lewis. Good job, Lewis
So
Hamilton.
that's a grid. We'll see what happens.
Projections for tomorrow. Let's finish it up with that.
Based on what I'm seeing, man, I'm going to say in no particular order. Yeah, that's what they're talking about, the polls. In no particular order, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen.
You're going to put Bottas in second?
No, in no particular order.
Well, that's no fun.
Okay, Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas. I can't remember who was under them there.
Leclerc, Ocon.
Yeah, Leclerc's not going to stick around. You know.
All right, I'm going to go with Hamilton, Verstappen, Lando, Norris.
Third?
Bottas, yeah. And then Leclerc. I'm going to go with it.
I don't see
I'm
Norris.
going to speak it into reality.
I don't see Norris being third. We'll see, man.
He's done it before. He can do it again.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
It's going to be an interesting race.
We'll see
what
what
time are we
happens.
getting up for it tomorrow? What time is it?
Meaning what time?
Do you have it in the calendar?
No, I have to do it in this. It's 16 hours from now.
Is it?
That's terrifying because 12 hours from now
16.
is 4 o'clock. Ooh,
Plus 4.
Is 8.
It's 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. race our time. We'll get up. We'll do it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But then I'm going to take a nap afterwards.
Yeah, that'll be like the most sleep I've gotten in a while.
Yeah. All right.
I'll be rested.
Wested on that strip sleeve.
Yeah, so we'll have the Oreos and the coffee,
cold brew?
yeah, which we gotta make. Oh man.
Yeah, I'll make coffee now. So all right, we'll see
Anyway,
you guys
guys,
next week.
make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe on Spotify. The YouTube channel. I have a new YouTube channel it's just the F1 My Life podcast YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to that. And you can stay subscribed to my personal one as well. It's on Spotify. Follow me on Instagram at Dark Rose Photography as well. And I think that's pretty much it. And I guess we'll see everybody on the next podcast.
Bye.
Bye.